Welcome back, lovely viewers, to another insightful installment of Behind the Chaos. I need no introductions, but with me today is the coach with a heart of gold and 2 less strands of hair, Richard.
Oh, hey there, Emily. I gotta say, the fact that you're interviewing me despite fighting a cold is mighty impressive. But don't push yourself too hard there, eh, bud?
Thank you, Richard. That's very kind of you to say. But enough about me. Let's talk about the show.
Right. I'm an open book. What do you want to know?
Let's see. How about that elimination? I mean, did you ever think you'd be considered a threat?
Well, it wouldn't be weird of me to say sort of, would it? I knew that coming into the game, I was going to have to prove myself one way or another. I'm in my 60s, for Pete's sake. But luckily for me, my muscle memory helped in more ways than one.
Funny how you, Linda, and Ted became a ragtag bunch that bonded over the most mundane of things. Like being old. You know, only after you let Linda get targeted in the hunting challenge, of course.
At the time, it felt like the right thing to do. In my youth, I put up with too much ignorance and hate. Sure, I may have jumped the gun a bit, but you mess with the moose, you get the antlers. Thankfully, Ted was there to rein me back in.
Who would have thought you and Linda eventually became not only good allies, but also good friends? You even invited her to come out and visit your family after the show.
Hey, Ted and Barbara are also welcome to join, but when it comes to Lynn, I saw the effort she was putting in. She's far from the frail housewife others may see her as. Not to mention, I'd love to have her Chilean sea bass.
Speaking of frailness, I'll be the first to admit I wasn't all too impressed with your retired coach stick. But for an old-timer, you're surprisingly resilient.
Well, when it comes to the planning part of these games, I knew I was a step behind some of these other kids. But there's, other ways to contribute. I have my body, they have the brains.
Understatement of the year! I thought you'd break a hip pulling the stunts you did at your geriatric age. Dunking basketballs, demolishing a dodgeball, and deep sea diving to name a few. I gotta say, I'm impressed.
I'll take it. In my heyday, I was called Rockin' Rich, because the moment I stepped onto the court, the opposing team was about to get rocked.
Fascinating. So, getting eliminated didn't bother you that much?
I'd be a pretty crappy coach if I was a sore loser, wouldn't I? Besides, the toughest part was saying goodbye to Natalia and Logan. Those two, I love them like my own, but cheese and crackers did I feel my hair thinning with some of their decisions.
Yeah, Natalia and Logan are more indecisive than me trying to pick out a new set of nails. And yet you stuck by them. Well, most of the time. You weren't exactly above grudges when it came to Natalia.
You're right. Maybe I was too harsh on her. I know her position wasn't always a breeze, but in the heat of the moment, you're not thinking all too clearly. She really does wear her heart on her sleeve. Nicole would adore her.
Do you think Natalia has what it takes to win the season?
Talk about a hard-hitting question, but I'm afraid not. Of course, I'd love her to win, but as a coach, I can tell when a player is hesitant to make moves, their own moves. And that hesitation can be the difference between making the winning shot or airballing.
Ooh, talk about tough love. So, Coach, out of who's left, who do you think has what it takes to win?
Well, if I had to consider it, I'd say Logan, Anastasia, and Isabel. They have what it takes to boil the syrup, so to speak.
Logan, eh? Don't you think you're being a little biased?
This far in the game, girl, please. Of course I'm partial to some more than others, but really Logan, through his many missteps, has the grit and drive needed to really, on fleek. Is that how the kiddos put it today?
You sure it doesn't have anything to do with you two bonding for the majority of the season? Paired with Logan confiding in you at his most vulnerable?
Butter tarts. Oh, listen, every coach has his favorite. How could I not? At that moment, I was looking at the younger version of me. Looking for guidance from someone older than him. I never had that opportunity at that age, and the moment I could give Logan that support, I took it. Besides, that kid really does have what it takes, as long as he keeps his head in the game.
Yeah, I'm sure the audience could agree to that. So that leaves Anastasia and Isabel as your other picks.
Darn right. Anastasia, she may tag my head on the mantle for saying this, but her and Lynn truly are similar. They're resilient, determined, and fierce, though that temper of hers may cost her further down the line. Playing hard puck can get ugly.
Amen to that. Speaking of religious phrasing, let's talk Isabel. How did you feel about her plays this season?
Mighty impressive. It'd be foolish of the others to underestimate her. In fact, she may be one of the more dangerous players down the line. Her and Jade make for one dynamic duo.
Jade, for the first challenge emerge, you tried your hardest to connect with her, even cracking a few Nemo jokes to Jade's detestment.
I like to think things were going swimmingly. Until what happened with Logan.
Yeah. Knowing Logan is okay and only slightly traumatized. How do you feel about Jade? Being the only one out of the know during such an intense situation seemed intense.
It was! Seeing Logan unconscious, knowing that the production team didn't have a medic on staff, I would have given him CPR myself if Spencer wasn't already doing it. But I don't hold ill will towards Jade.
It is crazy how we only have like 3 people working in production. But OSHA violations aside, really? Because you seem pretty peeved the next episode.
Because I was peeved. I would have appreciated if she told me what was going on at the time, but I know that Jade didn't want Logan hurt, and thank the stars he's okay. I just wish that whole situation never happened to begin with. How did he even run out of oxygen that fast?
Ask the producers, not me. But my hypothesis is that Shark Boy was a little overeager to show off his aquatic skills, and used up more air than if you were swimming like a normal person. And, well, the hyperventilating also didn't help.
Point is, I don't think Jade is a bad person. Just made a poor decision. Only time will tell if her decision has repercussions on and off the playing field.
Cryptic. I love it. But since we're nearing our end time, one last question. If given the choice, who else would you like to have worked with?
You know, I think if I was on the red team, I could have made Hannah and Jade star players.
Is that so?
Yup. Hannah seems like she has her head on her shoulders, and while she's still wet behind the ears, she's a real go-getter. There's nothing I love seeing more than a player who's willing to keep trying even if inexperienced.
Alright, Hannah makes sense. But Jade, on the other hand...
She's no bench warmer. It is called brawn and brain for a reason. Jade could benefit from being more of a team player, and I don't mean in terms of pulling her weight.
Yeah, she needs to open up or whatever. Tell it to her, not me. Yeesh.
Sometimes you need to let your players experience the game themselves.
Okay, any more pep talk and my brain is going to explode. So with that, join me next time on Behind the Chaos as I dish out the dirt on our next loser. And get over this cold or whatever.